Today we're going to work with definitions of certain terms that can usually be confused by people. Okay? Avoid, prevent, and protect. Okay? Check, control, keep an eye on, and supervise. Avoid is no problem. Avoid means evitar. Okay, that is no problem. But what's the difference between prevent and protect? Actually, the difference is this. Prevent means to stop something from happening. And protect means to keep something or someone safe. Okay? So prevent is when you take measures or you take action before to stop for something not to happen. For example, doctor says that people shouldn't eat just before going to bed, but it might cause stomach problems. So eating dinner early can prevent stomach problems. Okay? Or if my skin is oily, my face skin is oily, I'm prone to pimples, okay? Doctor can say wearing, using some kind of creams on your face, some kind of cream on your face, prevent the outburst of pimples. Okay, so you say, but it's the same as avoid. I'm gonna check avoid. Protect means to keep something or someone safe. It's a measurement. Bulletproof vest protects the police officer. Sunscreen protect the skin from the sunspots, las manchas causadas por el sol. Or eating low-fat meals prevent stomach cancer or high blood pressure. Okay? Medication, special omeprazole, protect the stomach from heartburn. So that's the difference between prevent and protect. Prevent, stop something to happen. Protect, keep something or someone safe. Okay? So let's go to avoid. I don't know why, but everybody says prevent, avoid, and wait. I'm looking for avoid. Ah. Give me a sec. Okay, here it is. On the other hand, okay, prevent, stop and avoid. So prevent and avoid are very close related. Why? Because prevent means, oh, it's too small. Let me see if I can put it larger, because even it is difficult for me to read. Okay, so give me a second. Let me see if I can open it larger, because it's too little to be seen. And I have it in my folder. So let me see if I can open it and put it larger, because it is difficult even for me. Okay, open here. Let me get the Where is it? Where is it? Where chime plays? How to write a story? Uh, uh, okay, avoid. Let me see if I can put it larger by opening it in another window. Oh yes, here I can put it larger. Okay, so let me share this. It looks better. So it says, let's work with prevent and avoid, basically, though we don't talk about stop. Prevent is to stop something from happening or someone from doing something, okay? Avoid is prevent something from happening or not to allow yourself to do something. So prevent and avoid are very, very similar, okay, but not necessarily synonyms, okay? For example, label your suitcase to prevent confusion. The police seems to be powerless to prevent these attacks. So we can say in Spanish like prevent is evitar anticipadamente. Okay? It's like in Spanish we say prevenir. So we might say, okay, is prevenir. Avoid is to prevent something from happening. Or do not allow yourself to do something. Stay away from someone or something. He's been avoiding me all week. I left early to avoid the rush hour, not to prevent, but to avoid. Efforts are being made to avoid war at all costs. We must find a way to avoid similar problems in the future. Okay? Something happens or happened, and you use avoid to say it won't happen in the future again. And prevent is like set it in advance. Okay? Estar preocupado antes de que suceda. Y avoid es ya sucedió o está sucediendo y no puedo hacer nada al respecto. It is difficult to bring a definition in Spanish or even in English about the difference between prevent and avoid. Okay. So we have avoid doing something. He tried to avoid paying his taxes. I tried to avoid supermarkets on Saturdays, or find a way not to do something. Get out of doing something is more common than avoid. He tried to avoid paying his taxes. Okay. Or the other example, he tried to get out of paying his taxes. I'd rather use avoid paying. Okay. Evitar hacer algo. Prevent somebody, something, his disability prevents him from driving. No le permite. We were prevented from entering the site. Nos advirtieron. In everyday English, people usually say stop somebody, stop something from doing something rather than prevent. That's why here we have stop. Okay, this barrier is to stop people. The rain didn't stop. I won't stop you from living. Okay, to prevent someone for doing something. Okay, prevent, stop something. Avoid, prevent something. Stop, prevent someone. Okay, so it's kind of how can I say? It's como delicado to give a real translation of how to use each one. Okay, actually, it is so. And then it comes. I know them. I know how to use them, but for me, it's difficult to explain. I can hear you. Your mic is off. I can hear you. No te escucho. Is it mine? Let me check. No, I have full volume. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. I can hear you. Let me check if it is my device. Give me a second. Let me check my device to see it's because I don't. No, it's not my device. It's your device. I can listen to music.
No?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. But I can listen to the volume is very low. Your voice is low.
Let me see. Okay, it is top on one side. Here, it is top 2. I have top in both, but top in the computer and top in my earphones.
Okay, now it's better.
Okay. So let me see if we have it somewhere. This
Okay.
is unit 12. Okay, the other meaning is keep an eye, check, control, and supervise. Let's get the meaning of keep an eye on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Because I had it, but okay. Supervise, supervise, not supervisions, but supervise. Give me a second. And then the third one is supervise, keep an eye, supervise, supervision, check and control. Check meaning. No, this is check, but verb, not noun. Give me a second. We have lots of phrasal verbs with check. Check in, check out, check by. Okay. And the last one is control. Eight. I have it open. I have the windows open, but I don't know why it closed everything. Oh my God. No. Oh Lord. Hey, take over. Why, if I have everything ready, it didn't open. It didn't kept, it wasn't open. Okay. So here we have. Let me share. And let's go to keep an eye. Keep an eye on. Okay? Keep an eye on means to watch carefully, not to stop paying attention to. Keep an eye on the stove in case the coffee boils. Could you keep an eye on the baby for me a while? Can you keep an eye on my daughter while I go out to get the car? Don't worry about your luggage. I keep an eye on it. My mom wants to keep an eye on our equipment while we go to get the truck. Other common sentences: can you watch my bag for me? Can you watch my suitcase while I go to the bathroom? So keep an eye on is a phrasal verb again. That means watch carefully. Pay attention 100% time. Okay. Then the next verb is supervise. Supervision is an interpersonal interaction between supervisor and supervisee, and they need at least two people or two persons. So keep an eye off is watch something carefully, and supervise, okay, is an interpersonal interaction in which one person watches carefully, keep an eye on another person or group of people, okay, to define if the things are well done or not. Okay, to check if something is right, if some procedure is followed, etc. Then we have the verb check. Check, to examine something to make sure it is correct. So keep an eye on, 100% time watching. Supervise, watch a group of people or look at a group of people or be aware of a group of people or a person to see if they are doing the things in the right way. And check, it doesn't have to do with people, but with things. Examine something. So you supervise people, but you check homework. You supervise workers, but you check the attendance. You are working a company, you are a supervisor, so you first supervise the workers. Are they doing things well? Are they working properly? And if you want to know who was late or something, you check the attendance. Okay, who came, who didn't come, etc. So it's like, I don't know, like supervisar and verificar. Check would be verificar. Okay, and supervise as in Spanish, supervisar. And the next one is control. Okay, determine the behavior or supervise the running. So control as supervise is for people and check is for something. Control is for people or for something. Okay, determine the behavior of people or the running of the functioning. So you can control your students, okay, and you can control your car. Okay, teachers should control their students. Okay, and of course, you can your supervisor can control the teacher's attendance. Okay, and say, pero eso no es supervisar. No, supervise is to see if you're doing things well. Control is not to supervise, but to observe. Okay. Again, like the other verbs, prevent, stop, avoid, it's kind of difficult to get to a real meaning. But semantically, you can get the usage because you know the language. That's why this is a B2. Okay, because if you go to a dictionary, you're gonna find control, controlar, supervisar, regular, and you go to supervise, controlar, supervisar, regular. And if you go to the other one, if you go to check, it means examinar, supervisar, controlar. So what's the difference? You supervise people, you check things. Okay, and you control people and things. That can be a good way to get to the meaning or the usage of the three of all of these words. And to watch on is to keep looking at something 100% of time. Okay, if we go back here, okay, students often confuse the words above. I want to talk about how we can avoid, prevent, or protect harming the endangered species that live in our oceans, sea, and rivers. Avoid harming, prevent harming, or protect.
Let me see. I want to read. I want to read.
Remember, you avoid
Yeah.
something.
We can
You avoid something or someone.
avoid or protect.
Prevent.
We see avoid, prevent, protect, no? I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Which one do you think it is?
And this is
And we talk about grammar.
prevent.
Prevent. Okay. You avoid something or someone. You protect something or someone, but you prevent doing.
Yeah.
So prevent harming. We cannot avoid harming. You can avoid someone or something. Avoid the traffic jams. Avoid my boss. And protect is completely different.
Okay.
Sus avoid, prevent, or protect animals and help them to breed and increase their population. This is easy.
To protect
Protect.
animals and help them.
Yes. Prevent harm, anticipate harm. It's important we are sure that the person will look after the dog and be able to check, control, or supervise it. Can you supervise a dog?
In this case, control it.
Control. You check something, you supervise people to see if they are doing things good, and of course you control a dog. Remember, uno usa check para verificar si algo está correcto. Uno usa supervise para verificar si las personas están haciendo las cosas bien. And it's a dog, so you cannot check the dog and you cannot supervise the dog. You control the dog. Miss, pero entonces cuando hablamos de que el veterinario, I take my dog for the veterinary, to a veterinary for a checkup, it is a check-up. Okay,
Check-up.
and verify if his health, the dog's health is okay. I still need to be checked, controlled, and supervised by a more experienced keeper, but I'm getting there. You check something, so it is not correct. Control or supervised?
Need to be supervised.
Supervised. Because that person verifies if what she is doing is okay. I put up a special fence in the garden to avoid, prevent, or protect them, the cats, from getting out. Before they, of course, to do it before they try to prevent. I think, sorry, I think we should let the cats out. We will have to check, keep an eye on, or supervise them.
Keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on. Be constantly watching at the cats. Okay. Okay, so we have the same avoid, prevent, protect, check, control, keep an eye on, and supervise for this. This cream is perfect for you from insect bites. Avoid, prevent, protect, check, control, keep an eye on, or supervise. More than one answer is possible.
Protecting.
Protecting you, no other option. Protecting you from insect bites. The new law, people from building houses in the national park. It happens before they start building.
Let me see. I can see.
The new law, people from building houses in the national park. I'm writing, copying the words here. Prevent, protect, avoid, supervise.
Camilo, prevent.
Wait. Control. I think they are the words we need. Prevent, avoid, protect, keep an eye on, supervise,
Camilo,
control.
prevent.
Wait. Avoid, prevent, protect, check. I want to copy the words here so we don't have to go up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I have them all. Avoid, prevent, protect, keep an eye on, supervise, control, and check. Yes, those are the words. Nice. So let me, you see the crazy mouse. Okay. The new law prevents people, because it's third person, prevents people from building houses in the national park. There was a man who was the tickets as people walked into the stadium.
Who was checking.
Verify something that is material. I think we should set out early to the worst of the traffic.
To avoid.
You ought to be wearing a hat to your head from the sun.
To protect. Your head.
Protect. It's the chemistry teacher's responsibility to students when they are doing experiments to make sure nothing explodes.
What is the teacher's responsibility to?
There are two options. Supervise or
can be keep control.
Keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on.
Yes. They have to supervise or keep
an eye on. Yeah. Keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on. Because keep an eye on is observe carefully. Make sure your essay for mistakes before you hand it in.
There you checked your essay.
Your essays, okay? To prevent for mistakes before you hand it in. We should always respect the force of nature because we'll never be able to
control them.
Good. Let me see if I can find other exercise with this kind of words. Give me a second. Let me check if in the workbook there is some other exercises with those. Okay, handbook, workbook. Okay, this is unit 12. So let's go to unit 12 and 12. Here it is. Yeah, that's 6 more exercises. I think that's enough. Okay. When you are in the sea, you should prevent or avoid being stung by jellyfish. You should prevent or you should avoid?
You should avoid.
Avoid being stung by jellyfish. because that is,
The stone is from sting.
yes. Sting, stung, stung.
Picar, picar.
Sí, what we say picar? Ser pinchado, que lo pinchen.
Pincha.
When young children are feeding animals, they should be checked or supervised at all times.
Should be supervised.
Supervised at all times. Sometimes, if my dog sees a cat, he is difficult to control or to supervise.
To control.
Control. It is our responsibility to prevent or to avoid certain species from becoming extinct.
Prevent.
To prevent. The zoo vet needs to check or control the health of the animals regularly.
Has to check.
Check. And finally, we must protect or prevent animals from increasing levels of pollution.
We have to prevent.
Protect.
We must from increasing levels with
We must protect animals from increasing levels of pollution. Tenemos que protegerlos, no evitar que los animales. ¿Ok? Es proteger los animales, no evitar que los animales. Remember that prevent means like evitar, prevenir.
Ah, no.
Okay, so we
Correct,
must
correct. Yeah.
prevent animals from increasing levels of pollution.
I didn't read it correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, prevent, protect. Yeah,
Yes,
it's okay.
prevent and protect.
Only one mistake. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there is one. This is another. Okay, let me check this. This is perfect. Let me see what kind of exercise is this. Okay, yeah. Let me check this. Let me check this other. I have like 3 exercises. Wait, no, this is not. This is the other one. Okay. Okay. Can you see this? No. Okay.
No.
Here says prevent. Wait. Prevent. To stop something from happening or someone for doing something. Maybe this is a more clear concept. So, avoid, to stay away from someone or something. Protect, keep someone or something safe from injury, damage, or loss. Check, to make certain that something or someone is correct, safe, or suitable by examining it or them quickly. Supervise, to watch a person or activity to make certain that everything is done correctly, safely, etc. Control, to order, instruct, limit, or rule something or someone's action or behavior. And finally, cat, keep an eye on, to watch or look after something or someone, and I would add permanently. Okay, so according to these definitions, wait a second, let me see something. Aquí lo puedo agregar yo allá al classroom. Okay, nice. Good to know. Okay, so name an animal which we should heavily protect and why. An animal we should protect, and why?
An animal we should heavily protect. I think the polar bear
Why we should protect the polar bear?
by the ice caps are melting.
Because caps are melting. What have you done to prevent and control the spread of coronavirus? What did you do to prevent and control the spread of coronavirus?
Control. Use mask.
Wear face mask.
Wear. Take vitamin C.
Take
That's
vitamin
one.
C. Okay. Remember that when
And
we
hold the
talk about
vaccine. And have all the
yes,
vaccine.
and all the vaccines, they're asking me to have another vaccine.
For
It would be
influenza.
the fifth for influenza and
Influenza is
for
now.
coronavirus, from coronavirus, both.
How many do you have?
4. This would be the 5th.
Ah, I have 3. Only 3.
No, I have 4. Now, because of my health condition, as I was interned in the hospital, they told me I should take the vaccine every year for the rest of my life. I do not think that it is some kind of plot, a conspiracy to inject some kind of nanobot or something in my body. I do not believe that. But if vaccines have been useful since they were invented, why not to take all the vaccines?
Yeah.
In the USA,
I the same.
Yes, in the USA, have you heard about the strange belief people have in the United States about vaccines? Have you heard about it?
I have heard about that.
What did you hear about it? Why do people don't want their kids to be vaccinated?
So some people say that they have implanted a chip. They can control our behavior.
Yes, but that is about the vaccine, the coronavirus vaccine. But have you ever heard that people in the United States refuses to vaccine their children for common diseases like polio or measles or chicken pox? Have you heard about that?
No, in the States.
In the States, people in the States, in those things, they're kind of weird. Okay. In the 1960s, a doctor published an unverified and unfounded article saying that autism in kids was related to vaccines. Okay, that kids are born normal, and after their parents give them vaccines, make the pediatrician shoot them vaccines, the kids developed autism.
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
But
so that doctor wrote that article. That article didn't have any scientific support. Okay, it didn't have any scientific support. The guy didn't do extensive research to establish the relationship between vaccines and autism and other behavior-related disorders. Okay, like hyperactivity, lack of attention. But this doctor just observed that in his patients, that were not 1,000 patients or 1,000,000 patients, he noticed, or he had the idea that the development of autism and behavioral disorders in children were related with vaccines. That article was published by Selecciones.
Ah,
That is a widely read magazine in the United States. So people started, that was in the 60s, 1967, something like that. So people believed in that article, and the idea spread that if you have a kid with autism or a behavioral disorder, it was because of vaccines. So even now, 50 years later, 60 years later, people in the United States still have the belief that if you give your child vaccines, they can develop autism and TDAH and all those behavioral disorders. That's why in the United States, people do not administer their children vaccines. Imagine one of the most developed first world countries, one of the
United
leaders in
States.
economics, in industry, and people are so stupid that even in the 1960s up to now, there have been hundreds of thousands of serious research saying, hey, listen, there is no relationship between vaccines and autism or vaccines and behavioral disorders in children, but people still do not vaccinate their children. And actually, like 2 years ago, there was a measles, sarampion, a measles epidemic in like 2 or 3 states in the United States, and children and teenagers died because they weren't vaccinated. It was like 2 years ago. And when I read, say, why? But why aren't they vaccinated? So I tried to find out why these children weren't vaccinated, were given the measles vaccine. And I found that explanation in the net.
Oh,
I've heard something similar, but I got the exact data when I saw it. I mean, here in Latin America, nobody gets measles. Nadie le da sarampión.
Mm.
Since I was a child, and it is in the 60 years I've lived, or let's say in 50 years, I've never heard about anyone, no one in Venezuela with measles. Have you ever seen or heard about someone with measles?
mm,
No?
long time
Because-
ago.
Yes, because the measles vaccine is into the vaccination schema for children. So children are vaccinated before they're 3 years old. Like was polio. Have you met anyone with polio?
Now this time, no.
No. And
I,
the ones
I
who,
only know older, very old person who
yes,
suffer
very
that.
old people, before the vaccine, because the
People
vaccine was
that-
developed in the 60s. But
Yeah.
if you can find people who were born in the 50s that have contracted polio. But
My Hindu friend who lives in Cotacachi, he has the theory of the that in the world is we are ruled by 4 group of people, rich people who have, and they want to reduce the amount of people in the world. That's when they created
that's
some
one of those,
vaccines.
yes, that's one of those conspiranoic.
Yeah, it's conspiracy theory. Yeah.
I got actually the,
And he has never been vaccinated.
it can
He
die.
told me, I am not
Can
going
die.
to get shot.
Yes, that's one of those conspiranoics. But I have got all my vaccines. It's like I don't know how to call it. No recuerdo cómo se dice en inglés. La viruela.
Smallpox.
The smallpox, thank you. The smallpox has been eradicated in the world. That's why kids don't get the smallpox vaccine anymore, because it was completely eradicated, except in some countries in deep Africa,
Africa.
where it is endemic. So if you go there, even if you are not vaccinated, you don't get sick because it is endemic and controlled. But in the rest of the world, there isn't any smallpox vaccine unless you go and visit Africa. In your case and my case, we are vaccinated
Yeah.
for the smallpox. But my daughter, my granddaughter, my son-in-law, they are not vaccinated for the smallpox. Because it was eradicated. Polio is also practically eradicated. Nevertheless, as the virus of polio, it is a virus, it still exists here. Children get the polio vaccine, even it is almost eradicated. Okay, next. Can you tell us about the time you narrowly avoided getting into danger or trouble? A moment when you narrowly avoided
Mm,
getting into danger or getting into trouble?
Many times.
Select one.
Okay. I've mostly when I'm having a good time with friends with some beer. There are some of
A
my
good
friends
time, and it was dangerous.
and some of them they can control the situation. They're too happy that they made jokes sometimes, and I have to I have to avoid. I go away
You went
from these
away.
people.
You
Yeah.
went away from those
I
people.
went away from this situation.
It
But
happens. It
because
happens.
sometimes they well, okay, you know what happened when people
Yeah.
drink a lot.
Yeah,
And so
they drink,
I
they
avoid
lose
trouble because
control,
I don't
they
like to be
drink,
insulted.
they
They
lose
want to
control. They
sometimes
stop,
are so lovely.
yeah, they stop thinking
They
right.
try to hug me, to kiss me. And
Oh my
okay,
God.
that's finished for me. It's over. I'm going home.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
I avoid that.
Okay, next. Let's see which is the next card. Name something you have to avoid at all costs. And why? In my case, I have to avoid dyeing my hair, changing the color of my hair at all costs. Why? Because my lung doctor told me that I must avoid any kind of chemicals, either on my skin or on my hair, because I can breathe those chemicals and it can make my lungs malfunction because of COVID.
Also,
And chemicals for dyeing your hair are really strong. And when you breathe, they are very close to your face because you're dyeing your hair. That's why my hair is completely gray and silver. In your case, what do you have to avoid doing at all costs?
I try to avoid being in the same place with person that that I don't like them. I don't like them.
People you dislike. Okay?
Okay, I dislike.
You have to avoid being at the same place with people you dislike.
I
Being at the
dislike.
same
Let me
place.
check. Dislike. Okay, that's hate the most.
Are you closely supervised at the school?
I can read. I can read, but I cannot stay.
Are you closely supervised at the school or at home? In what way? Nobody supervised me. Not even my boss.
Okay, in my school, yes, I'm supervised by the principal
Mhm.
sometimes, but not in a
Okay.
bad way.
What should you always check carefully before leaving the house? I must check I have the keys.
For leaving the house.
The keys and my long side and my far side glasses.
Okay, yeah.
Mis lentes de ver de lejos.
I
Far
I
sight
check
glasses.
carefully all what my wife do when she leaves when he rush the house. Sometimes the iron is connected,
Oh my God.
television is on, or she forgot turn the lights off.
Okay.
Okay, my
So
wife
you have
is
to check
terrible.
all the house
Yeah,
before you leave
all
it.
the house. Yeah, sure.
Name three
Okay.
things you might have to keep an eye on. How and why? I must keep an eye on my sugar intake. The sugar I eat because my mother and my grandmother were diabetics. So I have to
Mhm.
keep an eye on the sugar I consume. I have to keep an eye on my weight because as I broke my ankle, I cannot get overweight, heavily overweight because it can damage the metal in my ankle. And I have to keep an eye on having my medication, having the 3 medication I daily take, because if I stop taking one of them, I might feel really bad. If I don't take my stress one, I might get too stressed and get headaches, and that pain we talked about 2 days ago. If I don't take my sleeping pills, I won't sleep during the whole night. And if I'm not taking my anxiety medication, I might get a panic attack if I face a
Oh,
stressful situation.
oh, oh.
The last time I got one was when I was at the hospital in January, because I was in the hospital and my psychiatrist wasn't at the hospital the time I went there. So they didn't give me my medication. So I spent 2 nights without sleeping, without sleeping well. And when they told me that I couldn't be operated on because of my ankle was in bad conditions and muy inflamado, it was swallowed, I had a
Mm.
panic attack because I
Huh.
wasn't taking my medication. So they say, well, but are you taking? Yes, but we cannot give you the medication. You cannot bring the medication into the hospital. I say, okay, this is my psychiatrist, Dr. Doris Blanco. She works here. So after my panic attack, they called Dr. Doris, and Dr. Doris say, hey, you have to check her file in the computer. And she showed them, mira, Alejandra González, paciente tal, medicación tomada, control psiquiátrico cada 2 meses. So why didn't you read it? So they started providing me with my psychiatric medication, my drugs. So I must not, I must keep an eye on having my medication available, no matter where I am.
I keep an eye on my mother's medication, my parents' medication. When, for example, I live here, and when I go to school, I have to ask every day. You need something? Some medicine is running out.
Do you need some medication to be better?
Yeah, and they said I need something. When I return, she forgot another medicine. I have to I have to get back to the pharmacy to get the other.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. This is the first, the principal.
Second,
My second is only my books, with my books. I keep an eye on my books because sometimes I check something here in my table on my desk, and maybe I can forget something for school.
and the
And
third one?
the third one is all about my planification for school. I have to check.
And in my case, there is something that is the most important thing I must keep an eye on. My granddaughter.
Ah, you get that.
Yes, not to let her take my lamp or take my bedside lamp and turn it down, not to take scissors, not to take a cutter, not to drink
Yeah.
the glue. So I must keep an eye on her whenever she gets into my working area, because I have scissors, I have my notebooks where I keep track of the things I do, my diary, my cell phone. and she's curious, you know, kids that age
Yeah.
are really curious and they are not aware of danger. For them, see, a scissor is something new, something that make noise, but she's not aware of that is dangerous. So whenever she crosses my door, I need to keep an eye on her. Joanna, don't do it. Joanna, don't go there. Joanna, don't go under the bed.
Yeah.
Joanna, don't take my shoes out of the closet. Joanna, leave the cat alone. The big
Yeah.
cat. Take the little cat because but the big cat is heavy and doesn't like to be pet.
And
So
you forgot to mention the cats. You have
yes,
to keep an eye.
yes, I sometimes I need to keep an eye on the yellow cat. That is the one who likes to escape. Not the gray one. The gray one is quiet, but the yellow one is crazy. So I need to keep an eye on her. If I open the backyard door or if I open the window, I have to keep an eye on her, not for her to jump out of the window. My daughter tells me, "No, mommy, that cat won't jump. She's not stupid. She noticed, oh no, this is too high. She wouldn't jump, but I don't know because the cat is crazy." Okay, and with this, we finish for today. Okay, so
Miss
wish you to have a nice day and see you tomorrow,
Yeah.
Guillermo.
See
Bye-bye.
you all tomorrow
Yes,
on
tomorrow is,
uh,
yes, tomorrow is
Friday.
Thursday. Oh, tomorrow is Friday.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow is
Friday.
Friday. Thinking today's Wednesday. So see you next week before the holiday.
Before
Okay,
Tuesday.
bye.
Okay.
Have a
Bye,
nice
Mr. Lerner.
weekend.
Thank you.